It's been a challenging few months for factories in Chennai's Ambattur industrial estate. In 2020, the manufacturing enclave, home to hundreds of tiny auto component manufacturers, dealt with a nationwide lockdown and the subsequent labor crunch. Today at component plants like this one, sales that saw a 35% dip last year are not yet back to pre-COVID levels.
Even this year we are not looking at a huge growth in sales. By March we may recover a bit maybe, but still we'll have a drop of about 10 to 15% in sales. But the bottom line is hit very badly because of various reasons.
As far as challenges to business go, COVID is only the tip of the iceberg. A sharp spike in steel, aluminum and copper prices between April and December, a supply chain logjam and the semiconductor shortage has meant that these MSMEs are making fewer auto components today.
If we take about the two-wheeler and four-wheeler combined, if I was making 100 components before this crisis, now I have ordered only for 70 components.
Matters became worse 2 months ago when Chennai flooded yet again. 350 MSMEs in this industrial estate bore the brunt and estimate they've suffered losses in excess of 100 crore rupees. Given this series of unfortunate events, these auto component companies are hoping for more than just one form of relief from the upcoming union budget. First up, incentives to invest in R&D surrounding EVs, which would in turn encourage manufacturing of components and lesser reliance on imports. Auto component firms also want the government to introduce a mandatory buyback scheme to be implemented by OEMs to encourage recycling of materials and components. Further, speedy GST and service tax audits coupled with lesser red tape surrounding dissolution of companies, they say, are the need of the hour. Lastly, auto component MSMEs are battling for a stimulus package for micro industries employing 10 to 20 workers, which have borne the brunt of economic distress. Outside Chennai and neighbouring Gumudipundi, there's one demand that MSMEs say could make or break their very existence: the need to introduce a requirement-based debt restructuring model to tide over a pronounced liquidity crisis in the sector.
Whenever you go to bankers also, they will go by your balance sheet, last year balance sheet. Last year balance sheet is zero for me. Mostly if you are going for last year balance sheet, most of the MSME is negative. All my savings are gone. No fresh fund is coming from bank. And restructuring also not possible. Once I already done. Restructuring not possible.
It does not take an expert to tell you that MSMEs find themselves at a crossroads of sorts. With wafer-thin profits maxed out in procuring high-cost raw materials and the credit tap firmly shut, a new lease of life for the auto component sector is required now more than ever before.